Alright, cinephiles, take a deep breath, because I'm about to say something that might get me shadow banned from film school TikTok. David Fincher peaked with Seven. Yep, the man who gave us The Box, The Rain, and one of the most gut-punch endings in cinema history, that was the peak. And everything after? Slicker, sure. Smarter? Maybe. But that raw, uncomfortable, razor-wire energy, it never came back. Stick around until the end, because my final point might make you look at Mank in a whole new and slightly sadder light. Before we dive into nihilism, film grain, and dead wives as plot devices, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop a comment telling me what TV show or movie I should dissect next. This is director Ammar Hejazi, and today we're asking the big question. What if Fincher's masterpiece was also the moment he said all he really had to say? Let's go back to 1995. Seven wasn't just dark, it was oppressive. The visuals were soaked in filth, the city was nameless, hopeless. Every scene felt like it was filmed in a room someone just cried in. And thematically, it's bold. It doesn't give you closure. It doesn't give you a hero. It ends with a detective broken, a killer who wins, and an audience that needs therapy. It was Fincher going full Fincher, unfiltered, unapologetic, and deeply uncomfortable. And it worked because it wasn't trying to be clever. It wasn't commenting on itself. It just was. Since then, he's been chasing that same darkness, but with gloves on. Look, I'm not saying Fincher got bad, far from it. Zodiac is meticulous. The Social Network is sharp, Gone Girl is twisted fun, but all of them feel like Fincher is directing through glass. Perfectly composed, emotionally distant, borderline sterile. It's like he traded the grime of Seven for digital precision. And while that works for stories like The Social Network, it also makes everything feel less alive. He went from what's in the box to let's do another sterile interior with symmetrical lighting and a million takes of someone typing. He's become the director of cold geniuses and cold murderers, and somewhere in the middle, he lost that visceral punch. Let's talk about Mank, or as I like to call it, Fincher makes a movie for his dad and we're all just sitting through it. Yes, it's gorgeous. Yes, it mimics old Hollywood perfectly. But who was this movie for? It's a passion project with no passion, all technique, no urgency. Mank isn't dangerous. It isn't even particularly sharp. It's just academic. And when you compare it to Se7en, where every frame felt like a scream into the void, Mank feels like someone whispering about politics at a dinner party no one asked to attend. Fincher can still make pretty things, but Seven wasn't about being pretty. It was about making you feel something ugly. That's what's missing now. There's a theme in Fincher's work post-Seven, control. Everything is so tightly directed. Every line, every camera move, every performance. Obsessed with restraint. It makes sense. He's a perfectionist. But storytelling needs chaos to breathe, and Seven had that. Chaos in its pacing, its characters, its morality. Now everything's so clean, even in Gone Girl, which should be unhinged, it's all very neat, methodical, almost clinical. And that's the thing. Fincher's late career work looks great, sounds smart, but it doesn't bleed. Alright, here's the big point, the one I promised at the top. Fincher used to challenge the audience. Now he mostly just impresses them. Seven was a provocation. It asked you to sit in a world without hope, where justice doesn't win and morality is a lie. Now, Fincher's films are polished showcases of technical mastery. You admire them, but do you feel them? He went from uncomfortable brilliance to calculated excellence. And maybe that's just aging. Maybe it's the industry. But when we say Fincher is one of the greats, what we're really remembering is that one time he made us stare directly into the abyss and didn't blink. And that was Seven. So no, David Fincher isn't washed. He's still one of the most consistent directors working today. But did he peak with Se7en? Absolutely. This was director Ammar Hejazi, and if you made it this far without yelling, but what about Fight Club? Thank you. I owe you a coffee and some therapy. Smash that like button, drop a comment with your next target, and don't forget to subscribe for more brutally honest film takes. Until next time. What's in the box? Probably a safer, slicker version of the guy who put it there.